Story 1. Scientists believe the sloth to be the only mammal unable to fart. If your 4-year-old is anything like mine, fart facts will be highly appreciated. Story 2. The only place in the world where the Venus flytrap natively grows is in the continental United States, a fairly small area of marshland in the coastal part of the Carolinas. People always think they are jungle plants, but they are not. Story 3. The most weight a gorilla has lifted is the same as 6 refrigerators at once, but we have never seen a gorilla at full strength. They do not lift weights or take supplements like humans. I was a weird kid, and this was so cool to me. Story 4. Finally, my most useless talent of storing miscellaneous fun facts in my brain is needed. Kangaroos can't hop backwards. The dip in the middle of your upper lip is called a philtrum. 2 mammals lay eggs: the platypus and the echidna. Astronauts grow taller in space. Crocodiles can't stick their tongue out. Shrimp have their heart in their head. Sharks can blink. Maine is the only state with 1 syllable in its name. Cats have over 20 muscles in their ears. Tigers have striped skin, not just their fur. I swear I have like 50 more, but these should be fun. Story 5. It is impossible for people to lick their own elbow. This will keep her busy for quite some time. Tiger stripes are on their skin, not just in their fur. An ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain. One more for the adult-like people. The full name of Los Angeles is El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Angeles del Rio Porciuncula. Edit. A very important word in the Spanish phrase. Story 6. The Earth is constantly spinning. The moon pulls on Earth's oceans and influences tides. Uranus rolls on its side like a barrel. Venus spins in the opposite direction than Earth. Grapes are magnetic. The Eiffel Tower grows 6 inches in the summer. Air isn't weightless. Story 7. Uranus is the only planet that rotates east to west as well as on its side. Traditionally, when naming a newly discovered planet, they also name a newly discovered element after the planet. Hence, uranium. Uranus will turn 3 in 2033 as it completes just its 3rd lap around the Sun since we discovered it in 1781. Story 8. Koalas' brains are smooth. The eucalyptus leaves they eat are literal poison for them. The reason they sleep so much is because the literal poison they are eating doesn't provide them with enough energy. Story 9. Polar bear fur is translucent and only appears white because it reflects light. Polar bear fur has 0 white pigments and is hollow. Polar bear skin is also black. Story 10. It is impossible for most people to lick their own elbow. A crocodile cannot stick its tongue out. A shrimp's heart is in its head. It is physically impossible for pigs to look up into the sky. Cat urine glows under a black light. Like fingerprints, everyone's tongue print is different. Rubber bands last longer when refrigerated. A shark is the only known fish that can blink with both eyes. Almonds are a member of the peach family. A cat has 32 muscles in each ear. An ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain. Tigers have striped skin, not just striped fur. The giant squid has the largest eyes in the world. Story 11. Romans used to wipe their butts with a publicly shared sponge on a stick. 4-year-olds always enjoy poop facts, and this one will make her appreciate the fact that she doesn't have to use the poop stick in 2024. Story 12. That we are literally stardust. The elements, I described them as Legos, that make up her body, your body, and everything she can see and touch were forged in the hearts of dying stars. And because of this, she is very much part of what goes on out there. Story 13. The majority of the stars you see in the sky are actually ghosts. Those stars burned out a long time ago, but the light takes so long to reach us that we still see them as they were millions of years ago. Story 14. So, I have this one called The Big Book of Amazing Facts, a children's guide to the world for this exact purpose. It's a little dated, but it's a neat book. Story 15. It takes light 8 minutes from the sun to reach us, so we're seeing the sun not as it is now, but from 8 minutes ago. The same for stars, and many of those we're seeing from millions of years ago. Story 16. Watch Matthew Santoro on YouTube. He has been making videos about amazing facts for years that I loved to listen to and watch as a kid. He has tons of videos on a lot of different kinds of facts. Story 17. If your child gives you trouble about not wanting to eat a banana because it has brown spots, tell them the brown spots are where the starches have converted to sugar, and those spots are actually the sweetest parts of the banana. Story 18. An elephant's trunk has 40,000 muscles, and it takes a baby elephant around 5 years to learn how to use them all. Polar bears are considered marine mammals. So are dolphins, of course. A natural predator of moose is the orca, also known as the killer whale. Story 19. Ice can evaporate in the freezer. Cars work because of lots of tiny explosions in little cans inside the engine, gas cars at least. Electric cars work because of very strong magnets arranged in circles in such a way that they can all take turns pulling the wheels next to them. While a battery is powering a magnet, it makes the magnet stronger. Story 20. If you could travel into space in a straight line, whichever path you chose, you would hit a star. They are all there, but are so far away that their light hasn't reached us. Story 21. Did you know that an average whale is about the size of an average whale? Did you know if you tried to swallow a whale, you probably couldn't? Story 22. Bees see in a different spectrum of color. Hummingbirds are the only birds that can fly backward. Giraffes have necks so long that if they drank hot cocoa, it would be cold when it reached their stomach. Giraffes fight by swinging their necks at their opponent. Mallard ducks return to the same nest nearly every year if able. Swans mate for life and often die of a broken heart when their mate dies. Penguins propose with a rock they spend hours picking. Baby foxes are called kits. A group of crows is called a murder. Hippos are omnivores. They eat plants and meat. Crocodiles have more snapping power than mouth-opening power. A baby kangaroo is called a joey and lives in its mother's pouch. The little plastic bit on your shoe is called an aglet. Humpback whales sing songs. Bats can't see very well and use echolocation to find food. Orcas are also known as killer whales. Orcas also use echolocation. People with darker skin have more melanin in their bodies, while people with lighter skin have less melanin. Octopuses are so smart zoos have had some escape their cages to explore. There are 7 continents. We live on Earth in the Milky Way galaxy. The sun is a star. A volcano that is not currently active is called dormant. Story 23. Octopuses have decentralized intelligence. Each of their arms has a brain with a central brain in the main body. Bees sleep up to 8 hours a day, often in pairs, and they will hold each other's feet. There is a squid called bigfin. It has extremely long arms that stick out relatively far from its body. At least several species of cicadas can become entirely frozen and still live. Some species also emerge from the ground every 6 to 8 years, and those years are really loud with cicada noises. Pigeons are fairly neat creatures. It was a New York mayor who brought the flying street rat phenomenon in. At some point, the United States government spent money developing a project for pigeon-guided missiles. No one took it seriously. Some cities use clams to control dams and such. When the clam's water gets too dirty, they close their shells. An apparatus attached to the shell will touch a button, and the dam will close. This method helps control when water can enter or leave a city based on its cleanliness. There are thousands of jellyfish in space right now. Whenever the jellyfish are brought back to Earth, they don't adapt well. They become disoriented and struggle more than Earth-born jellyfish. Bats tend to fly into each other all the time. They are also not blind. Crocodiles are one of the original body plans for animals. They have not evolved for hundreds of thousands of years. Carcinization occurs when a crustacean develops a crab-like body plan. This is due to convergent evolution. Decarcinization happens when a crustacean with a crab-like body plan evolves away from that form. This makes crabs another original body plan. Speaking of convergent evolution, most trees are very distantly related to each other. The majority of trees came from separate lines. Anytime a fruiting tree or plant has a large fruit with a singular seed in it, it usually developed to feed large ground mammals that are no longer present, like ground sloths. Some flowers develop in the shapes of birds or bees. This is the plant's attempt at mimicry to be pollinated at a higher rate. Some plants will poison the ground around them, so other plants cannot grow near them. Bananas release a chemical that causes other bananas and nearby fruit to rot faster. When hermit crabs find a new shell that is too large for them, they will wait near the shell until a larger hermit crab shows up. If that hermit crab is also too small, it will wait as well. This continues until a large enough hermit crab shows up. Then, the largest hermit crab will take the new shell, and the old shell goes to the next largest, continuing down the line until all the crabs have a new shell. When geese are grieving, they have been known to look at their reflection in shiny glass, mirrors, headstones, things like that. Great white sharks cannot be kept in aquariums. They simply do not adapt well and will die. Frog eggs have soft shells. This makes the eggs much more susceptible to pollution and environmental changes. When an ecosystem is healthy, there will be a healthy population of frogs. If an ecosystem is unhealthy, you'll find a lot of three-legged frogs and other mutations. If an ecosystem is very sick, there will be no frogs. Beavers stabilize ecosystems. Their dams stop water, creating calmer places for smaller amphibians and fish. They clear debris and perform other ecosystem maintenance. Platypuses are poisonous. They also have webbed feet. Dolphins have been known to bite pufferfish because they enjoy the effects of the poison. Certain birds will eat fermented fruit, get drunk, and be unable to fly. Bees do this as well, except if a bee is too drunk, it will not be allowed into the hive. Bees communicate the location of flowers to their hive mates via a wiggle dance. A group of pandas is called an embarrassment. They are alive primarily because we think they're cute. Story 24. Beavers react to the sound of running water and try to locate the leak and plug it. If the sound is coming from an audio speaker, beavers will eventually cover it in mud and branches. Story 25. There are people with very tiny mites living on their eyelashes. It is okay because these mites live from dead skin cells. The beauty is they never poop. They collect their poop in a little sac at the end of their body, and when they die, they fall from your eyelashes. They are transmitted from one person to another via people kissing. Story 26. Tell her about platypuses. Start with the basic stuff everyone knows, like how they're weird beaver ducks with venomous bills. Then mention how they're technically mammals, but they lay eggs. Then finish it off with the fact they also produce milk with no nipples, and their babies lick it off their stomach. You should get some decent mileage out of that one, maybe 3 nights. Story 27. Wikipedia is your friend. There is a page with random facts of the day. A simple thing is basic stuff like plants, animals, space, stars, and the environment such as eons, storms, snow, and deserts. You can go a lifetime with just that within Wikipedia. There are even Wikipedia apps that will download the most popular 100,000 pages or so onto your phone, so you are never without it. Story 28. Freezing water can break rocks and gives mountains their shape. Really hot water is what makes trains go and is why they choo-choo. Water is just about the only thing that, when solid ice, floats on its own liquid form. It's a good thing too. Story 29. She will never not be covered in bacteria. That might get her to stop asking, but if it does not, the next fact can be that she has friends living all over, like she is a planet for them. And they even try to keep her safe. Story 30. If you rub your knee after bumping it, it actually helps reduce the pain of injuring yourself because the action of rubbing it interrupts the pain sensation being sent to your brain. Story 31. They found out that gluten intolerance was a thing during World War II when the army ran out of bread rations. After a few days of no bread, a lot of British soldiers suddenly started feeling better. Of course, it could be that the bread was just terrible. Story 32. The bottom of an elephant's foot is soft, and they can move almost silently. They can also hear through their feet as they are excellent at picking up on vibrations. Story 33. If you hold a fart in, the gas that must go somewhere will make its way up through the body and into your lungs so you can breathe it out instead. Do not hold in your farts. Story 34. Bearcats smell like popcorn. Show her the natural habitats videos. She'll like it. To add, tell her marshmallows are called marshmallows because they were originally made from a mallow plant that thrives in marshes. Story 35. There is something a blind man can see and a deaf man can hear, yet cannot be measured by science nor purchased in a store. that you pour it out of your heart to her heart each and every day so that she can pour it out to others, that you will never run out no matter how much you pour out to her, that your love is never ending. Story 36. Just an aside, you could possibly have a theme, so instead of a bunch of random facts, have facts related to the current theme of the month. That way, you get to learn topics and see what interests your daughter in particular. Story 37. Jellyfish existed before dinosaurs did. I learned this watching a game show called Bridge of Lies the other day and was genuinely shocked it was true. Story 38. Back to wombats. A group is called a wisdom, which is funny because they are the absolute silliest Australian animal that exists. Imagine a 2-year-old that gets into everything, randomly bites your ankles and gets the zoom eyes. That's them. Story 39. Only one species of frog goes ribbit. But that species is native to the area around Hollywood. So frogs were almost always depicted in films as going ribbit. Story 40. Camels originated from North America. All of today's camels are descendants of the now extinct North American camels. The oldest known camel fossil in the world is from North Dakota. They are little. Story 41. Penguins gift pebbles as we humans do with engagement rings. Polar bears have black skin. Pufferfish don't blow up with air but with water. Sharks can regrow their teeth forever. Lightning doesn't come out of the sky. It goes up into the sky. Clouds become gray when they're thicker or, in simple terms, store more water because light can't go through them. Seals have seabeds. There's a space between rocks where they squeeze in to take a nap, so they don't get carried away by waves. There are bioluminescent, glow-in-the-dark, plankton that make the sea glow at night in some areas. Lobsters can technically grow forever. Dogs and cats can smell through their mouth, especially useful if you have a cat that does the flamin' response sometimes. A cat's tongue is their personal built-in hairbrush because of the little hooks. Some of these could lead to more questions, but what child doesn't question everything?